right. And we live on YouTube right now, buddy.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, all right, cool. Let's hop into this joint.
Get the party started.
For sure. Ugh. Go ahead, welcome people in.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Wanye Picante, and I thank you for tuning in to WrestleholiXz Roll Up. This is our weekly show where we recap things that are going on in the world of wrestling, and we kind of have some good dialogue about different points and views that we have. Because the great thing about wrestling, you can have a different take and opinion about a myriad of different stories and different things that are happening on all the various different shows.
Facts. My bad. I'm trying to get all this set up.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. We would like to thank everybody for subscribing on our YouTube page. We have crossed the threshold of 100 subscribers. Our next big goal is hitting 200 subscribers. If you didn't know, we are doing a $100 giveaway to one lucky subscriber once we pass that 200 subscriber mark.
And the giveaway we'll announce that giveaway on next Thursday.
Okay.
So if you want to know who won the giveaway, if you want to know if you won, you might want to make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube. And when Wanye Picante's video drops live next Thursday, it'll be there. So, Wanye. Dang, I feel like that was loud.
Yeah, you yelling in my ear.
My bad, fam. Let me turn your headphones down then. So, what are we talking about first?
All right. So, we're kicking the show off with a brief SmackDown review. So, as we know, if you've been following SmackDown and Raw, you know that we just concluded the draft.
Yep.
Now, I guess the draft was a bit lackluster overall, and you're
being generous.
Well, the reason why I'm generous is because I understand that from their standpoint, there's not really a lot of changes they want to make right now because they're holding out.
You know, it's like I understand what you're saying. I can somewhat get that, saying a little bit, but at the same time, like, do not do all of this. This is the new era, this and new era that, but it's not the new era. You know what I mean? Like, the draft was supposed to be the opportunity to concrete and finalize and submit that this is the official new era. But nothing changed. Like, only a handful of people actually ended up changing shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there really wasn't a lot of people that changed shows, but I think from a booking and a mindset, it's a new era, but not from the standpoint of it being a new era as, a lot of monumental changes from a roster standpoint. Because the rosters were pretty good.
You talking about going into the draft?
I'm talking about now after the draft. The roster, going into the draft, the roster, in my opinion, I thought there were a good sprinkle of talent.
Okay.
I did want some call-ups. I got,
We got like 7 of them.
Yeah.
We got Dragunov. We got Dijak.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Dijak was a surprise.
He was.
The thing I don't like about Dijak is they didn't do it on air.
And when they don't do the drafts, because I see what you're saying. It's like, to me, when you draft somebody and it's not live on air or whatever the case may be, I feel like that person, why should we care about that person?
Yeah.
Obviously, you didn't consider them to be important enough or key enough to draft them on air. You know what I mean? Like, you did it on social media, like, after the fact.
Yeah, and it waters down their ability. And let's be fair and honest. Dijak as a in-ring performer in NXT, borderline championship material. Like, stop playing. That man never had a bad match.
You're not wrong. Only time Dijak really had a bad career was Retribution. But I digress.
Boy, that was the biggest waste of...
Sir, like, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
But yes. So rolling from the draft, I mean, not a lot of surprises. I think the biggest thing that was a surprise for me was just the amount of call-ups. That, like I said, that was the biggest surprise to me. Like you
the
said,
lack of.
Yeah. I mean, but at the same token, they couldn't pull up too many people at the same clip, because if you pull all of your talent from NXT, who are you gonna have?
Yeah, granted, you couldn't pull too many people at the same time, but you could have switched the shows up a little bit, man.
Yeah.
And, I feel like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth when I say this, because on one hand, I understand why you didn't switch the shows up as much as you did. You got a couple of storylines going on.
Mm-hmm.
But let's be real. Are those storylines going to give us any significant payoffs in the immediate future? You got CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. That's going to give us one, obviously.
Yeah.
The Bloodline with Kevin Owens. I'm so confused, because now you're pairing Kevin up to work with them again, but all signs were previously leading to seeing Kevin and Randy Orton take the tag titles off Theory and what's the boy name?
Grayson Waller.
Mm-hmm. So is this like a side quest for them?
No, I think we talked about this before. I think that the small interaction that you're gonna have with Kevin Owens and the Bloodline, the new Bloodline, essentially, it's more so to bring credibility to the new Bloodline.
Okay.
Because when you look at Kevin Owens as an established wrestler, as I like to call him, the toughest guy that SmackDown has, who better to usher in the new era and the new, I dare say, faction and new face of being a disruptive person or team.
I can see that. To an extent. Either which way it go, I feel like it's not a waste, but I guess this is more so to get Tonga established.
Absolutely.
So Kevin Owens is at that point in his career where, not that his job is to put over new. Well, you know what? I'm not even gonna say it's to get him established. I'm gonna say that he's at this point in his career to, not get Tonga established, but I guess to give him a formal introduction. Because, so I've noticed that WWE, when they debut a star that they know of, that has a significant reputation, but they know that their core audience, aka casual mainstream fans, don't know who that person is, they introduce them in a significant way without making it a big deal, if that makes sense. Like when you look at the presentation of how Tonga was introduced, he was introduced in a significant way that wasn't a big deal. And WWE, sometimes they use the internet to their advantage. All signs, we already knew that Tonga was debuting when he did. Mm-hmm. Jacob Fatu was originally set to debut last week. Mm-hmm. Those plans have now been nixed. I feel that those plans have been nixed in the short term because that element of awe was taken out. So I think WWE probably went back to the drawing board to figure out, okay, how can we get this guy in? How can we get him introduced to what we're doing without and still make it big, but at the same time giving the people a surprise?
I can agree with that, but at the same time, I feel like they are trying to give us a bit of long-term storytelling by pushing back Jacob Fatu, so that way it gives time to build up what you have going with Solo Sikoa, Tommy Tonga. Mm-hmm. So when he does make his debut, it's going to be a bigger impact.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because more than likely he's going to end up debuting probably in some form fashion where it looks like Kevin Owens and probably Randy Orton are getting the upper hand.
Mm-hmm. Or you save him for when you actually run the Jimmy and Jay Uso run up.
That's too long.
No, it's not.
Sir, Jimmy got a while before he get around to Jay. Jay got to finish up losing the daggone Damian Priest tomorrow. I mean Saturday.
That's light work.
I mean, yeah, I know it's light work,
We're
but you know they're still going to put a bow on it to try to wrap it up.
Yeah, they are. And if anything, I can't say that they would do the traditional, okay, let Jimmy be the one to cause him. Because I feel like we're beyond that now, especially with the way that, you know, they kind of had to rush through their WrestleMania match. So I think more so now it would be, I feel like the way you run that.
That's how it's going to happen.
What's that?
I think it's going to be Jacob for 2.
That's going to be the one?
I think that's how they're going to introduce him into the picture. I think that's how they're going to introduce him into the picture. I think it's probably going to be Backlash.
So then he
because it's going to be too obvious for Solo. It's going to be too obvious for Tammy Tonga. It's going to look like Jay is going to win. And right when it looks like he's going to win in classic fashion, I think Jacob for 2 is the one that comes out and costs him the match. Gives Jay a yeet down. Sends him home for a little bit, quote unquote. And then we let it cook. Because remember, well, I don't know if you noticed or not, but there are apparently going to be some trades going on SmackDown tomorrow night. Before the roster's like in place on Monday.
Okay. I can see it.
And in typical WWE fashion, the rosters are not going to lock in place Monday at 8 o'clock. The rosters are not going to lock until Monday after Raw goes off the air.
Got you.
So even if this plays out on Saturday, which I think it will, you still got Monday to actually let it cook on TV and then formalize the process to then run everything on out.
I like it.
All right.
So moving forward, we have... Moving forward, we have Cody Rhodes. Now, Cody Rhodes made his appearance again. I'm going to be honest with you. The match that he had with Carmelo Hayes, that ain't it.
Because you had you had a lot to say about Cody Rhodes today on your video. That's right. If you haven't been to WrestleholiXz YouTube page, I suggest you go and check it out. Mr. Wanye Picante over here dropped some fire about Cody Rhodes, aka the American Narcissist, as he likes to call him.
Yeah, man. I mean, when I watched that match, number one, I wasn't impressed. Number two, when the champion is having that big match, or essentially the match to welcome in that next generation or that next big name, I was confused. And the more I watched the match, the more I just had that epiphany. I was like, man, Cody Rhodes is bland.
Like, man, this dude trash.
Yeah. Hey, oh, brother, this guy stinks. Because when you think about Cody, once you get past the look, the entrance, the fanfare, and you get past him pulling on your heartstrings of you feeling bad for him, his underdog story,
He ain't got nothing.
you don't. You have a mid-card at best performer who you've been duped into thinking he's him.
See, is that me? My bad.
It's fine. Go ahead, sir.
Not Triple H. Roman Reigns tried to tell us that Cody was a politician.
Yeah.
He tried to tell us. I saw a Brock promo where he pretty much was like, Cody Rhodes, the whole thing with the persistent beatdown that he gave Cody was supposed to have been symbolic of what happens when, you know, bucking the system and the traditional norms and the whole established structure, And he said that's what Cody Rhodes stood for. And when I'm looking at it from a political standpoint, I can kind of see that as a character. Because you got the guy, he kisses the babies, hugs the little kids, goes to people's weddings, signs belts, gives them away, jumps in the crowd. He's all about the fanfare and the public relationship. But at the end of the day, it's like, is it authentic or is it being done just to keep him in a place of elevated success? Because he has nothing else as a wrestler to keep him there.
Yeah, I feel like we are over facing him. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're making him such a face that I don't know, it's just kind of, I don't believe it. I really don't. Like when I'm watching him and I'm listening to him, it's just like there's no real substance there. You know, it's just kind of like, case in point, you're a cook,
Absolutely.
a chef by trade.
For sure.
You know, when you go to certain restaurants, right?
Yep.
And let's say you order the grilled chicken.
Okay.
On the outside, that chicken looked like it got a nice crispy skin to it. You see some flakes, some good color, a couple burn marks, a little char. You like, okay, I think we got some here.
I'm expecting this joint to be on and popping.
You're expecting it to be seasoned, and then as soon as you bite it, it's like,
that joint's mid. I got a problem.
like, wait a minute, where's the flavor?
I've been hoodwinked,
Literally, when you
ran amok,
from the aesthetic,
led astray.
right? Bamboozled, hoodwinked. You know, from the aesthetic, I should be getting something full of flavor and filling. But when I actually consume it,
It's nothing. It's bland. It's trash.
tasteless.
Yeah. And coated rose is garnish.
Yes,
He's literally garnished.
Sir,
He's just there to make the plate look good, but other than that, he serves no nutritional purpose.
sir. That's why I compared him in my video to vanilla ice cream. Vanilla ice cream is the #1 selling ice cream in the world, but nobody's just like, man, I want some vanilla ice cream. You want vanilla ice cream paired with something else that you like even more.
Exactly.
It's just there to make it better.
Exactly.
When we think about the rest of SmackDown, I'm gonna be honest with you. Aside from
The draft.
the draft, the Cody and Carmelo Hayes match, nothing else really stood out to me.
I mean, we had a little bit more interaction with Tiffy time.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that's for the bill. So, speaking of Tiffy time, I don't know if you saw the post I made on the Facebook page today. That who was it? One of the wrestling outlets did a little infograph with Tiffany Stratton and presumably her desire to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. How do you feel about that? I'm gonna ask you first before I say what I have to say.
How do I feel about her winning Money in the Bank?
Mm-hmm.
The problem that I have with her winning Money in the Bank is, hold on, how much time do we have before Money in the Bank?
Sir, Money in the Bank is like
2 months?
Yeah.
In 2 months, I don't.
Maybe 3 because they switched up the pay-per-view schedule.
Okay.
Because you got Backlash, then you got King of the Ring.
If it's 3 months, you've got time to build her. If it's less than 3 months, I don't want her to, because then it becomes, I'm going to be honest with you, the Money in the Bank briefcase,
Go ahead, say what I'm about to say. Go ahead.
aside from it being just, it's more of an eyesore. It's fake hype. Because it's like, yeah, that, you know, such and such. Mr. Money in the Bank, Mrs. Money in the Bank. It's fake hype, and 9 times out of 10, it's used for a transitional title reign.
Exactly. My point exactly. The only thing, we have not had a real Money in the Bank, like legit winner, and I want to say probably like maybe 3 years. The most credible one that I would give would be Asuka when she won it during the pandemic. And that was a kind of sticky situation because remember, Becky was the champ, but Becky ended up having to drop the belt because she was pregnant. And Asuka had won it was a crazy year. They did the best they could.
Yeah.
I mean, for that, I got major love for all wrestling promotions that still try to entertain us. But they did the best they could. But Asuka had a sustainable, credible title reign with that. Granted, it wasn't a cash-in more than it was an exchange, which I feel like they kind of handled it a little bit weird in hindsight because you essentially didn't have a female Money in the Bank winner like for the entire year. But I guess that's the same as when people get in the cash in the same night. Either which way it go, they used it too much as a prop. Now, back when Money in the Bank was first iterated, when you had guys like Randy Orton, Edge, Alberto Del Rio, Dolph Ziggler. They had some real title runs. Granted, Dolph Ziggler, he got injured too many times, which is what screwed his up. But
it's just back then, if you had the money in the bank briefcase, you were, I wouldn't say an established performer or wrestler.
You were highlighted.
Yeah.
You were being highlighted as, okay, that's the guy.
Yeah.
He's next.
Yeah.
Not now.
But he's up and coming.
But we're gonna start having him in the kitchen when we cooking, so he can pick up the recipes a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so personally, I don't want Tiffany Stratton nowhere near the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yeah, me neither.
Absolutely not. I feel like it's gonna end up killing her career. Again, that's a personal bias because of what they done with it. Mm-hmm. Now, the only way I'm okay with her winning, and this goes for the male Money in the Bank briefcase too. The only way I'm okay with her winning, or who is somebody that you think, Braun Breaker, for example, right? Mm-hmm. The only reason I would be okay with either one of them winning is if during the entire time of them having a briefcase, they're booked.
Yeah.
Seriously, credibly, and main event level status. Yeah. Not saying that they're in the main event, but they got high profile, meaningful rivalries, meaningful feuds, not just little stupid, silly stuff like we saw with El Senor Money in the Bank. They had not one serious feud the whole time he was Money in the Bank. This dude fought Bad Bunny. Granted, that was before he won the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I get it.
But bro, you lost to Bad Bunny. That's like Quavo taking the L to Chris Brown. I went there because he did.
I don't think it translate, but you know, I guess.
Quavo's supposed to be a rap professional, right? I know Chris Brown can rap, but Quavo, follow me. Just entertain me. Quavo is that's his signature, right? That's his MOS. That's his music occupational specialty.
I don't think it's a specialty.
We know Quavo for rapping. We know Chris Brown for singing, okay?
Okay, fair enough.
We know Bad Bunny for being a performer. We know daggone Damian Priest for wrestling.
True.
Okay, that's the whole point of what I'm trying to make.
All right.
All right.
So what did you think about Raw this past Monday?
Sir, I missed it. And I watched it. Like that's bad. Like I missed Raw, but I actually watched it at the same time because other than the draft, there was nothing going on.
Yeah, it was a weak show.
Like it was no new layers of development. I think we did a little bit more building with the Chad Gable storyline. Mm-hmm. Sammy kicked Chad. Chad went suplex Sammy. You know, hey, I feel like that was even. We had the whole thing with Bad Bunny. You had the Logan Paul situation. Now, I said something to you while you was here. Now, I know we said what we said about Jay in the beginning, but now here's the thing about the Jay Uso thing, right? Mm-hmm. With the whole Jay Uso thing, what we did on Monday night with him and Logan Paul was kind of stupid if it's not going to be a payoff between them two and him winning the U.S. championship.
Right. Yeah. They definitely teased as almost like, okay, that's going to be something, you know, maybe the next PLE or
because the next. Like sir, the whole segment, you got Judgment Day involved, which that's the lack of Rhea Ripley has let you know how much Judgment Day has slid. And they have the world champion. Yeah. However, back to what I was saying. You had Patrick Mahomes involved, who I don't like. Sir, I don't care. I don't like that individual. I don't like him.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so other than that, nothing. I can't even tell what the main event was.
Yeah.
Liv Morgan and Nia Jax had a really good match.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, you know I'm not a fan of either one of them, so.
Did we see anything with Imperium? I think they had a match. I'm not sure. See?
They did, but I mean, yeah.
Like, if this is the new era, I'm gonna need WWE to. I'm not saying that every single show gotta be a banger, because it's impossible.
No, it's not. It's not impossible. It is not impossible if your job is to produce good matches, good storylines, solid feuds. It's real simple. You got all the ingredients that you need. Put them together. Because what we're getting right now is we're getting a BLT.
You're not talking about bacon, lettuce, and tomato, are you?
No. I am.
Oh, okay.
The reference of what we're getting right now is the equivalent of a BLT. It's light, not too filling. Stay with me. It's light. It's not too filling. Don't get me wrong.
We have way too many food analogies on this show.
We really do. If you're hungry, that BLT ain't.
Hey, it's slapping.
Exactly.
You know.
But if you
get you some special cooked bacon, you know what I mean?
But the problem is, it's not enough to fill you up. Pause. That was crazy.
Hey, yo.
What it is just enough to keep you to get by.
Just to hold you over.
Yeah, and that shouldn't be. I shouldn't have that on Monday Night Raw. I shouldn't be able to be like, man, I don't really remember too much happening. SmackDown, yeah, no. We just came out of WrestleMania. Think about it from a business perspective.
Everybody's tired. They're tired.
No.
Sir, they gave us what, like 12 hours? No. You had 6 hours of wrestling Saturday.
That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is from a story. I'm talking about the people that don't wrestle. From a standpoint of storytelling, feuds, and everything else, we should have been able to have. You've got the attention of everybody. From a business standpoint, if you just had the big case in point, obviously, I work at Verizon, right?
Yep.
So when iPhone launch, they're going to have follow-up sales to keep you interested, to keep you coming back.
Yeah, I got sales on accessories and
upgrade
promotions.
They got sales on watches. They got sales on tablets. They have other things to keep you there.
Okay.
Obviously, yeah. The main event, the main thing that you're coming for is that. But you're going to sprinkle in things. That's why sales in the fourth quarter for a business are so big, especially because you can capitalize on holidays. You can capitalize on, the heartstrings of other people to be able to maximize on that traffic, to maximize on that opportunity to sell.
Okay.
So that's what they should be doing, not giving us.
You think there was a situation where they put too much energy and effort on the draft because they thought that was going to be you know what? Pause. The draft could have been really, really big. It was a missed opportunity.
Yes.
Not enough shakeups. Now you're giving us, I feel like, a bait and switch by letting us know that, hey, that's okay because we're going to be doing draft picks. I mean, we're going to be doing trades on Friday Night SmackDown. It's probably not going to be nothing significant. But not enough shakeups, not enough surprises. I think the draft should have actually had, like, day of trades. Like, seriously, like, for example, when Braun Breaker got drafted to Raw, I feel like Nick Aldis should have said, hey, if you give me Braun Breaker, I'll give you my next 2 draft picks.
Anything to,
like, simulate an actual draft.
Yeah. I
like the trade idea. I think we should implement a trade deadline prior to the draft. Matter of fact.
Before SummerSlam.
After WrestleMania. Too early?
Yeah, you just had the draft after WrestleMania. So that's why I said SummerSlam.
Like the trade period. Okay.
Because the same way in NBA and NFL, you have a trade deadline.
After the season starts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that gives you a few months to see what you got. And then if you see another star or another player on another team that you want the rights to because you see what they're doing, do you know how crazy? Think about it. You've got Monday night. Jay just had a banger match. Nick Aldis come out the back. Or they paying to what you call it?
Adam Pearce?
Adam Pearce's office. They go back there and he be like, you know what? I tell you what. I want main event Jey Uso back on the blue brand. I'll give you, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
For you to get Jey Uso, you're gonna have to give me Alpha Academy and a 3rd round draft pick next draft.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But
yeah.
But what that does is that would be a crazy pop because it's unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gives credence and opportunity to somebody else. Case in point, even if you did a Alpha Academy trade or you traded, I don't know, the Final Testament. If you sent them to Raw or something, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Anything that you do is going to draw attention to the trade because it's never been done.
Because even with this draft, NXT was supposed to be draft eligible. Not to draft from, but for NXT to draft to you.
Yeah.
Nobody got drafted to NXT.
No, the only person that's there is Natalya.
And she's not even there officially yet.
She just be hanging out.
Boy, she done on internship.
You stupid. So, thinking about NXT, right? I have to ask a question.
Yep.
So, Trick Williams.
Whoop that Trick.
Get him. Sorry.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, man.
So, yes, Trick Williams. Is Trick Williams just smoking mirrors? And by that, is he smoking mirrors? Is he just a transitional championship? Or is he somebody that NXT is really going to build on?
Trick is the next chapter for NXT. And here's why I say he's the next chapter for NXT. Because in order to have a transitional champion, you have to first have someone that you're preparing to transition to.
Mm-hmm.
You use sports, so let's stick with sports for a minute. This is one of the problems that we see, especially in football, with a lot of teams that don't have a good quarterback line of succession. They lose the guy, which in this case, Dragunov, was the equivalent of, we'll say, Tom Brady. And I'm not talking about like accolade for accolade. I'm just using references right here. So Dragunov was the NXT equivalent of Tom Brady, right? So you got Mac Jones, who was supposed to be the one to succeed him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means that after you had Mac Jones, you weren't supposed to get nobody else. Because Mac Jones was supposed to be your next franchise quarterback. Right. If you look at the situation with Trick Williams, who was going to be the next franchise player up? They don't have one. They have to build one.
Yeah. I mean,
so right now, Trick Williams is, I don't want to call him Mac Jones per se, but he's essentially Mac Jones. Now that sucks because Mac Jones got fired, but
he got traded. He got traded to go be a backup for Trevor Lawrence.
So he got fired from being a starter. Exactly.
I mean, yeah, he got fired mid season. I think to what is it, Zappy? I think that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
But anyway, which way it go? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you have nobody else. I mean, you've invested in Trick. Mm-hmm. You put the time, the energy, the hype on him. You got the payoff.
We did.
I feel like the payoff was a little. I feel like the booking was rushed.
Yeah, we didn't get a finished product.
Yeah,
with that, and
like the payoff that we got didn't match the area that we got it at.
Yeah, because the vignettes and the promos that we got, they were supposed to tear the house down.
Yeah,
at Stand and Deliver.
Exactly, and we didn't get that.
They didn't even take a picture off.
Man, I hate going back to food, but it's like if you pull up, it's like going to Longhorn Steakhouse, but instead of eating in, you get your food like in the drive-thru, and they don't even box it up; they just wrap it up in foil.
No, it's like getting some cold fries. You be like, man, hey.
Oh, bro, that's like when you got that's like when you on your last couple dollars, and you go and get you a meal, and they mess everything up.
Bruh, no.
Like you been craving that joint like all day, bro.
No, bro, that's Bojangles.
It's
boy, you go to
Supremes be cold, the fries be trash,
or they ain't seasoned,
the tea ain't sweet, and you 38 hot, boy. Boy, that happened to me a couple weeks ago. I hadn't eaten in all day. Oh, we got me a chicken sandwich. Got me a little chicken sandwich from here, right? You know, sidebar.
Yeah.
I ain't ate, fasted the whole 9. I'm like, all right, let me go ahead and get my son because, gotta break this fast food, go to church. Bro, they got my food all the way wrong, bro. I ain't had no I ain't had no fries in the bag. Daggone my chicken sandwich ain't had no mayonnaise on it. And it was old and crusty. Like, bruh.
I got you. So who is NXT building? Give me three people real quick.
Tony D'Angelo.
All right.
Lola Vice.
Okay.
Nope. I ain't got nothing. I can't think of nobody else.
That's the problem. There's no and again, even with the draft coming and a lot of the main stars going up to the main, even though a lot of the NXT stars got called up to the main roster, the cupboard is bare. There's not much you can do now. So now you
and it's crazy because it really wasn't a big. Oh, Uma Fembe. I forgot. See, I got one. Can I count him? But we're not. They're not building him.
No. They're not building him.
They're making him a spectacle, not a draw.
Yeah. They're letting him assert physical dominance, and that's it. Zero storytelling. Zero real booking. Now, granted, he's had some really good matches.
Oh, well, absolutely.
But, I mean...
He gonna murder Wesley.
Yeah.
I hope they don't put that man against Wesley.
They are, and it's terrible.
They didn't do my what's wrong.
Yeah. Well, I think Wesley came back at the wrong time.
I gotta rebut that. I don't think it was the wrong time. I think they just brought him back in the wrong way. Hear me out.
Okay.
We just had the draft, right? Wesley wasn't in none of the draft foods because he was out injured. He was on the injured reserve list.
Right.
That's something else that we should be doing too, is injured reserve. I think that'd be kind of cool. You could have brought Wesley out as a free agent. And what I mean by that is you could have just literally hyped him up as a free agent. For example, Friday Night SmackDown, you could have had Wesley featured in the front row, put up his NXT highlights and everything he's accomplished there, and just let him watch the show. On Monday night, same thing. NXT, same thing. And you just kind of do that. You play into that field. You know, the same treatment that they give like down to when they got about to sign a big name from an indie circuit or another promotion down to NXT.
Yeah.
You do that with your own people on your own show.
Yeah.
You build that hype and suspense, and then whenever you finally decide on a path that's going to be a good way forward for him, that's going to help him progress as a character, you launch it. You're literally keeping him relevant and buying yourself time to create something all in one whoop.
Absolutely. So, the North American women's title. New belt. Give me your front runners.
Defending on all three brands. I'm playing this a little bit much. Or
it
is
a
it?
little bit much.
It is. All right. I'm going Lola Vice.
Solid.
Thea Hale.
Solid.
Part of me wants to say Sol Ruka, but I'm not gonna say so. Fallon Henry. I would have bet money on Kiana James, but she got drafted as I presumed.
She did get called up. I like Sol Ruka.
Yo, that Soul Snatcher? Hey. Nope. Let's keep talking about wrestling, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's wild. But but her her in-ring ability, good.
Solid.
She's got the look. She's got the aura, the mystique. I think she's going to be good. But yeah, definitely Lola Vice or Thea Hale.
Either one of them. JC Jane is out injured, or I would have said her.
Yeah.
I'm. Uh-oh. Did I trigger you?
No, because
Triggered?
No, because I thought about Michin. I'm tired of seeing her.
Bro, she has done nothing
Zero.
of importance.
Bro, weak promos, weak in-ring ability. Like, no real purpose with the OC, because the basis of the OC is New Japan.
Bruh, she was brought in with the OC to be a neutralizer to, I believe, the Rhea Ripley situation with Judgment Day, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And that was it.
She didn't neutralize nothing.
She got neutralized.
Exactly.
Okay.
Waste, man. Anyway.
But I'd rather see her in that scene compared to two other females.
Who?
And they better not do them when they come back.
Who?
Cora Jade and Nikita Lyon.
Yeah. I'm not.
If you don't keep the two broke girls away from anything related to a championship,
broke best friends,
bruh, they can't stay healthy. They can't stay healthy to live. These jokers wake up and break their leg or pull an ACL or MCL.
Yeah, it's wild.
The only thing they give was what they doing now. Taking pictures with their cheeks out. Yep, I went there and I said it. That's the only thing they give for. Give them a couple of months, there will be the newest OnlyFans editions.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So moving on to AEW. Got to give flowers to Swerve.
No.
What?
We gave Swerve flowers last week. All right. You know who get the flowers right now, sir?
Who?
You get the flowers, sir.
Why do I get the flowers?
You get the flowers now.
For what?
Because last week on our show, you literally sat here and you mapped out the entire plot of what we're seeing with the EVPs.
Yeah.
Like, you evil genius.
Well, hey, I'm going to be honest with you. In my head, I thought about it. What could AEW do to be different and actually build up some kind of storytelling? So, what better way than the inmates take over the prison? So, the EVPs essentially take over AEW, run them up like they did last night. I mean, we're getting some great work. I mean, the Elite Heels angle, that's beautiful.
So, does John Moxley come and play the role of Stone Cold Steve Austin, essentially, doing the invasion?
I think that's low-hanging fruit.
So, this is AEW you're talking about. Nothing is too low for them.
I know. So, the short answer, yeah, I could see it. But I would rather Tony Khan...
Get in the ring?
No.
Oh.
Well, I mean, he can get in the ring.
No.
But I would rather him, like I said last week, I would rather him call on the pillars of AEW. The people, obviously, can't get Cody. Obviously, Jack Perry's against him.
MJF, his injury timeline has been prolonged. So he's not coming back no time soon, apparently.
If you can't get MJF, Darby Allin, the people's choice, Hangman Adam Page.
Okay.
Orange Cassidy.
Okay, because there was something about him with the Don Callis family.
Yeah.
That I saw. Okay.
You utilize those not necessarily to defeat them, but you use them as essentially a shield for Tony Khan trying to reestablish order. Which then you bring in John when they can't handle it. I know it does. It gives credibility to the Elite. It continues to push the Young Bucks. It still gives a American push for Okada. Because again, in New Japan, Okada is like,
he's that dude.
Yeah. But over here,
he trash.
It's not that he's trash. It's just he hasn't had the opportunity to shine. So you put him up against the founding, not necessarily the founding fathers, but some of the prime, stars and babies that have grown and actually matured into, think about it. You've got Orange Cassidy as a fan favorite. He's always on the side of good, essentially. Mm-hmm. You've got Darby Allin. With Darby Allin essentially getting the mantle passed to him from Sting, that's a great opportunity.
I mean, he just got hit by a bus.
Yeah.
That's not funny.
It's not, but his whole career is like, bro, what is with you? Why are you always getting hurt or getting thrown through something or getting hit with something?
Yo, did he get hit by a car like a couple months ago before a match?
Bruh, it's wild. Bro, you remember his early promos? It'd be like him in like an empty car lot with a car that got thrown, and he get out of it like, man, let's go wrestle. Like, no, bro. No. Are you okay? And Sting just there looking at him, just mean mugging him. Like, bro, check on your boy. Please make sure your friend is okay.
If you can survive a bus, you can survive this match.
I'm telling you.
Like, bruh.
If that is the Sting school of wrestling, not many can survive.
Boy, that's worse than a dungeon.
Oh, man.
Hey, do me a favor. Run across the freeway and rush out with traffic. If you do that, you're ready for your first match.
Huh?
Wait, you want me to dodge the cars, right? Like, no, you need to get hit by five of them.
No, you need to get hit.
What? Get hit by 5 cars,
Yeah,
two
get
buses
hit
in
by
the
5.
truck, and then get up.
Mm-hmm.
And don't die? Yes.
Yeah, don't die.
And don't break a leg either.
But yeah, I love what they're doing, and I think it is good. I think it's fresh, and I think it's really positive for AEW to do something, number one, that WWE hasn't done and isn't done.
And they're probably not going to.
Exactly. Because it's off-brand for them.
I mean, they essentially had their mini Avengers moment with WrestleMania with Cody and everything else.
Exactly.
I saw an interesting quote about AEW. Well, since we're her topic of AEW and Okada.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a meme. It said that WWE took Tommy Tonga, who was presumably or apparently a mid-carder in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and made him into almost a superstar overnight. Meanwhile, AEW took Okada, who was a superstar in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and made him to, like you were saying, essentially a mid-carder. What are you saying on that, sir?
Again, I think it's just opportunity. Because yes, Tommy Tonga may have been a mid-carder in New Japan, but Tommy Tonga has done a lot of independent work. Okada has just really started doing independent work and wrestling in TNA. So it's gonna take some build-up, but you're gonna see more. Like, what is it? Takeshita from the Don Callis family.
Was that the one guy that was always losing?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that guy's good.
He is good, but once he got hooked up with the Don Callis family, he started winning. He started doing, more and more.
You think it's gonna be a slow build like that?
Absolutely, you have to, because his name. You can't rush it because, think about it, fans like you who really isn't into New Japan, you have to be made a believer. The same way that me being a fan of New Japan, and I've seen him and I enjoy his matches, it takes time. It's the payoff because I get to see him more, but because I'm pushing him and you're going to actually get to see it, you're going to, over time, slowly start to enjoy him.
Okay, so I get what you're saying, because essentially what you're saying, you're running me the same parallel as me, who being someone who watches NXT, when I see guys come up to the main roster and I'm pissed off because they're not being presented how I know they can, because you're looking at them like, yo, they trash. And I'm looking like, bro, you don't know what you're missing.
You don't even know. You know what I'm saying?
So, but here's my issue. AEW, their primary fan base and market, they don't market their product to guys like me. When I say guys like me, I mean pretty much mainstream professional
WWE
wrestling.
diehards.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Or just mainstream professional wrestling. Like, hey, is that professional wrestling? Is it accessible to me on mainstream television? I'm watching it. You know what I mean? They market their product to guys like you, who follows New Japan, who follows different indie promotions. They market to the diehard hardcore fans.
Yeah.
So for diehard hardcore fans to have this opinion to take, what are your thoughts?
Again, I'm
because these are the people that you are already. This is your market segment. For a guy like me to have that take, cool. But I'm not the primary makeup of AEW's fan base or audience.
Well, no, but you got to think
my mindset.
But you have to think, obviously, how many WWE has hundreds and thousands more fans than than people that like AEW.
Mm-hmm.
So what you have to do, you have to find the perfect blend. So for a fan like me, because I know him, you showcase him, but you have to do it in a way that, number one, makes me, because I've seen what he's done, I have to almost get semi-frustrated because I'm like, he's better than this. But for you, because you haven't seen him, it draws your interest because you're like, I see something there. You know, and not overbooking it and not over pushing him. Because if they just threw him in the main championship, you'd be like, oh, bro, AEW doing AEW things, bringing in somebody, rushing them into a match with no build up, no story, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
AEW is giving you story, build up, and a lot of things. It's just one of those things, and I'm excited to be able to, you know, watch it. And like I say, because I enjoy him as a wrestler, it's great to be able to get the opportunity to see, you know, him actually get the traditional professional wrestler build up and story.
Hold on, wait, I just got a comment. If AEW do what WWE does and put their shows on Hulu and Netflix to be watched, the next day I will watch it. That's an interesting take.
Absolutely. That's one of the problems that they have, because granted, AEW has 3 shows that they run per week.
T Thugger.
The problem is when you miss it, you miss it.
Exactly.
And there's really nothing else you can do. And I guess I get it to try to boost ratings, but you're missing out on the market. You need it. You need a replay or at least some kind of recap. If anything, go ahead and scrap one of them shows. Scrap one of the shows.
Rampage. Scrap it.
Yeah, because Collision is a better product.
It is.
And
take the resources that you wasting on Rampage.
Yeah.
Rededicate those to Collision. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I'm gonna keep it a buck. If I was Tony Khan, I would market Collision to be my A show. I absolutely would. I don't watch it as much because I still have to train my brain that wrestling comes on Saturdays. Not to mention that my Saturdays are always rap anyway.
But that's why they can't do it. That's why they do it the way that they do. It's quick. It's hard hitting. It's only like maybe 2, maybe 3 matches, a couple segments, out of there. Because they know that people are doing things. People still have families. People still want to do things. So they can't take up all your time. That's why they put their big stories on Dynamite. Then they, you know, push them over to Rampage to be able to give you the WWE feel during the week. And then Saturday give you what core and dynamic AEW is in Collision. I like it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about the return of the god of professional wrestling, Mr. Kenny Omega. What?
Okay, so Kenny Omega. You know, I've never been a big Kenny Omega fan. I thought he was overhyped, overrated. I really did.
Mm-hmm.
But watching his work in AEW, I can say this. I'm still not going to go as crazy as everybody else does with him being the quote-unquote wrestling god.
The god of professional wrestling.
I honestly don't really hype no wrestler up to be that level. I give accolades where accolades are due. I do enjoy watching Kenny Omega matches.
Yes, the matches are great.
Like Kenny Omega in the ring, to me, is a epic storyteller, a epic performer. And one thing I like about Kenny is I feel like he can give us a awesome match with some of the crazy stuff in there and still do it safely. Yeah. Like as a older wrestling fan now, I have a appreciation of guys that can work safely in the ring.
Well, not even just that. The ability to not carry a match, but carry a match.
Exactly.
You know? Like, because even if he has a match, let's say, even if he has it with a nobody, he is the star of the match, but he still gives credence and opportunity for, hey, shoot, hey, get your stuff off. You know what I'm saying?
Pause.
I'm going to do mine. You going to get your turn, and then I'm going to end it. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, but go ahead.
You get what I'm saying.
I know, I'm just saying, you said that.
I know, but what I'm getting at is he has the ability to not overshadow you and still be great.
Yeah, I like Kenny. With him coming back, well, first off, he only came back Wednesday because it was in Canada. Obviously, if they wouldn't have did that, I would have called him retarded.
Yeah.
Him getting physical.
Have to.
I mean, he's getting over the diverticulitis, which, that's, it's a beast.
But Kenny's known for fighting.
I know, but this is my problem with Kenny Omega that pisses me off. Now that I understand who he is and I know who he is. And I think it's like typical wrestler mindset, and it kind of low-key pisses me off. Man, take care of yourself. I, as a fan, yes, will I miss seeing you on my television? Absolutely. But if I don't have to see you for a couple of months, which means I get to see you for a couple of more years, I'm good with that. I am absolutely good with that.
From a health standpoint, I agree, but at the same time, it'd be like Jon Moxley coming back and not having a knockdown, drag-out fight match. It'd be like...
That I'm cool, but what I'm saying is take care of yourself. If you're hurt, bruh, stop sitting here pushing through stuff. This means that promotions, bookers, this means that they need to have a constant line of people in the pipe, pause, that's wild, that are able to step in and take up slack. This is where you need transitional champions to come in at.
Yeah.
This is where you need a good transitional guy or interim girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let your workhorses take a break. Look at Seth Rollins, for example, man.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins got mad props for me. Did you see that bump that he took at the end of WrestleMania? How his leg, your leg is not supposed to twist that way, sir.
Yeah.
Okay? But this is how dedicated this guy is. Granted, him working through this recent series of injuries probably took maybe 3 years off his career early for leg issues.
Yeah.
He's definitely going to feel it when he turned about 60. That's my only issue with Kenny Omega. I feel the same way after watching wrestling for over 20 years. I really can't anticipate a talent that can put on a great show, be a ringleader, and also be safe and very important. Exactly. Because when you work safe in the ring, hey, speaking of safe, your boy, Will Ospreay, almost broke Daniel Bryan's neck, didn't he?
Yeah. I don't even know who to put that one on. I mean,
he said my boy said he was in the heat of the moment. He didn't see that they ain't need the medical attention. Like, nah, I'm gonna break your neck. We're gonna keep wrestling. I'm the star here. I gotta prove that I can handle the grind.
Right. That's wild. Well, folks, that's all the time we have for today. We thank you for tuning in to WrestleholiXz Roll Up. We'll see you next week.
Yep. Hey, be sure to, if you're viewing this on YouTube right now, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell icon. No, hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon to turn on your notifications so you don't miss this. If you're watching us on Facebook, same thing. Subscribe, follow the page, like it, and then head over to YouTube and subscribe to the YouTube, okay? Fastest growing wrestling on YouTube right now, period. We hot. Super hot fire.
Yeah, we burning up the algorithm right now.
I'm trying to tell you, boy. We blazing over here. We blazing like North Carolina heat in December. You only understand it if you're from North Carolina.
No, for real. But yeah, man. Like I say, appreciate y'all, and we'll catch y'all next time.
Peace. Yeah, I know.